When we talk about the COMT gene, this is known as the Worrier or the Worrier gene, and it has a huge impact on your life. It's tremendous. It's something that everybody should know which form of this gene they have, because it is going to have a huge impact on the way that you interact with the world and life, and the way that you function, and how you can optimize that functioning on a personal level. So here, when somebody's asking what to avoid if you have the COMT gene, that when you talk about somebody having it, that generally means you have the plus gene. Small percentage of people have that. I'm one of them. Then some people will have plus minus. That's just like a normal COMT. That's most people. And on the other end, you have some people who are minus. So here we're going to be talking today specifically about the plus. If you guys want a video about the minus form, leave a comment, let me know, send a DM. Just let me know in one way or another, and we'll do that next time. So if you have the plus COMT, this is what's called slow COMT. COMT stands for catechol O-methyltransferase. Don't worry, there's no test about that at the end. You don't have to remember it. But this is what's going on here is that everybody produces certain catecholamines or different neurotransmitters, things like dopamine, epinephrine, norepinephrine. And these are produced, they have their function, and then they get detoxified. Now, most people, the people with the plus minus, detoxify these at a normal rate. It's good. The people with the minus, fast COMT, they detoxify them too fast. They don't get to experience the benefits of them enough. People with the plus, the slow COMT, don't detoxify them fast enough. This can have an upside, this can have a downside. The upside is that you have natural enthusiasm and exuberance because you have more of these, especially with the dopamine going on. You have strong sexual function. You have more altruism and generosity, more energy and productivity, and you can focus for very long periods of time. You also have very high frontal lobe function, and this is what functions as the filter. So very, very rarely will you see me saying something by accident or spilling out. I have a very strong filter generally over what I'm saying. On the other end, we all know people who have the minus and things just kind of slip out all the time and they say, oh, I can't believe I just said that. I've never said to somebody, I can't believe I just said that. It's not ever come out of my mouth before this very moment just now. The downside of having the slow COMT is that you have trouble winding down. Sleep can be a little bit more challenging. You can fall into the category of being a workaholic, and you can have some difficulties with estrogen metabolism and estrogen detox. You also run a higher risk of developing a number of different conditions, things like acute coronary syndrome, ADD with hyperactivity, bipolar, and especially bipolar with mania. No fun, right? Breast cancer, fibroids, Parkinson's, for women, PMS. Fortunately, I don't have to deal with that. Schizophrenia is a lot more common. And also stress-related hypertension. So a lot of this is going to come down to stress management and taking time to enjoy yourself and not taking things that are going to make you more stressed. So one thing that causes a production of a lot more catecholamines, the things that you have a hard time getting rid of with this gene, is caffeine. So you really want to minimize caffeine consumption. I know for me personally, I do very well with chocolate because it is an extremely low level of caffeine. It has more theobromine, has magnesium, which is more calming. So I have zero problem in my personal experience with chocolate. But with things like matcha or green tea or coffee, I have a bizarre reaction to those. Here's what happens. Because I'm suddenly producing so much more dopamine and epinephrine and norepinephrine, I feel unbelievable for about a day. I feel so happy, so energized, so focused. It's just superpower. And then for a period of several days afterwards, I'm miserable. I'm actually deeply, deeply sad. It's no fun. So I steer clear of that stuff. For lots of people, these caffeine sources, things like matcha and coffee, are fantastic and can be true superfoods. For me, it's absolute kryptonite. And that's why it's so important to understand your genetics, because your genes are not your destiny. Your genes are a map of all potentials, and you can decide based on your lifestyle and your diet and supplementation where you want to go. As I mentioned, you also really want to minimize stress. There's a million ways to do this. This can be breathing practices, time in nature, exercise, meditation, It can be taking things like reishi and magnesium glycinate, magnesium L-threonate. When you have this gene, you are really a magnesium junkie. It is so helpful. And then things like L-theanine is another really good one. Phosphatidylserine is another. So lots of potential tools here. If you want more even, we can go into that. But sleep optimization, again, for stress management as well, is a huge part of it. You have to watch out also with estrogens, because you're not able to detoxify them as well. This is something that, based on my blood work, I've done absolutely fine with, but that's only, I think, because I have passionately avoided both phyto and xenoestrogens, plant-based estrogens from things like soy, and then also xenoestrogens, things coming from like pesticides and from plastics and plastic water bottles, things like that. And you just generally need to be really mindful of when you're getting too tense or too stressed. You have to get serious and take a very hardcore approach to relaxation and fun. Make sure you leave time each day, carve out some time. Don't just leave time, but carve out time. Schedule it to do things that are relaxing, that are fun, that you really enjoy. Have a good time. With this gene, if you don't make a point of having a good time, you will just work nonstop until you end up taken down by all those different lists of horrible health outcomes that I mentioned a little bit earlier. Keeping a regular circadian rhythm is also a really important factor in this, in terms of regulating stress, regulating your biology, letting your body know when it's time to, perk up and when it's time to calm things down. It's really going to help, and it's going to help your sleep as well. And sleep is going to, when you sleep, your brain is able to flush out these things a lot better. You get your glymphatic system going. This is with a G, glymphatic, not lymphatic. This is what flushes your brain out while you sleep with cerebrospinal fluid. It's like taking your brain to the car wash. And then exercise is also very important here. Here, when you're exercising, you're able to actually burn through some of these excess neurotransmitters to bring yourself into more of a state of balance, because otherwise you can build them up in excess and they really become irritants to your nervous system and you end up not feeling so great. So that's a COMT gene. I first learned that I had this back in 2012, I think it was, and it allowed me to just have such a deeper understanding of many aspects of why I am the way I am, probably more than any other gene that I have. This has had such a powerful effect in shaping my life, and also knowing how to manage it and avoid these long-term horrible health outcomes and know why I feel like crap the day after I have caffeine has been so helpful for me. If you have some form of the COMT gene, whether the minus or the plus, leave a comment below. I'm curious to know what the experience has been like for you, what you've noticed about this in your life, and what you're doing to optimize. And if you've learned something new today, or if you found this video fun or entertaining, or you just want to share some love and good vibes, do me a favor. Go leave a like down below and subscribe to our channel. We love sharing educational information like this with you that helps you take your health back into your own hands. If you want to have some delicious chocolate, go check out our website, addictivewellness.com. I think you'll find a lot of joy awaits you there too. Thanks again for joining me today, guys. Hope you have a fantastic day and look forward to seeing you again next time.